Alrighty, I think we're live.
Woo!
Hello, if there's anybody. I can't see.
Hello.
I just shared the post, so
Awesome.
hopefully that helps a little bit.
Let's see. Let me open the YouTube.
Should be good.
Hey, Dana. Hi.
Oh, I didn't realize I wasn't on comments. Okay, I see it now.
Yeah, on the side there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's four people. No, there's 6 people watching. Am I one of them? Let me
I'm probably one of them.
Avery Reads is on.
Hey.
Hello.
I'll give it a little bit to let people like filter in, and then we'll do our little introductions.
Cool.
I'm kind of thinking we'll just get into spoilers. I think that's what we normally do. Or like, if you haven't read it, first of all, you should. And don't be surprised by the spoilers.
I cannot wait to discuss this because I'm like leaning 2 ways with this book. So
No, Marcy, you love everything.
I know.
I never noticed that. Or I didn't know that jumped back and forth.
Oh my gosh. I cannot stand when y'all is written like that with the apostrophe after the A. It's like, no, it is Y and all. Y'all.
Yeah. I agree.
I listened to the audiobook, so I didn't see it.
Oh, cool.
I did too. I listened to the audio, but I do own the physical, and I guess I didn't notice that part of it.
It must have sounded good on audio. I love the like southern drawl that I got.
Yeah, the audiobook is pretty good. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Hey.
We'll definitely get into the
Lemon Slashers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Every time I click a comment, it kind of lags. So like, I don't know if it's lagging for you guys. So hopefully not. But
I hope I'm not lagging. If I ever like dip out or anything, just like wave your hand and be like, "Hey, Cameron, we can't hear you," because it happens a lot.
Okay, yeah, you sound perfect right now. Everybody sounds great.
Cool. It usually starts out good, and then it just like toward the middle. It starts, yeah. I'll be talking and people will be like just nodding. I'm like, they can't hear me.
They can't hear me. It's incredible how people's faces change and they can't even tell.
Really?
Yep. I'm like, nope, I'm messing up. Stupid Wi-Fi.
Yep.
Oh man. And I guess it just happens when everybody like gets home and is online, and it just dwindles down.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Well, if we want to just start with introductions for anyone new, and we'll start with Cameron. You can talk about yourself, your channel, whatever.
Cool. My name is Cameron Cheney. I have a YouTube channel called Library Macabre, where I talk about horror books, sometimes horror movies, usually books, new and old. I'm also an author. I wrote this book right here called Autumn Crow. And I have another one coming out in September, which is the first book in the Autumn Crow High series.
Oh, how exciting.
Yeah.
I'm pretty pumped about it.
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
So for Autumn Crow, all of the stories in the book take place in one town. So it's the town of Autumn Crow Valley. And it's like every day is Halloween here. The people are always celebrating Halloween. Everything's always spooky. And while it seems like this very picturesque place, and everybody like goes there for vacations and everything, and it's like this cute place, there's this darkness underneath, and it kind of draws you in with all of the surface level coziness. And then for Autumn Crow High, it jumps back into the 90s. So it is very much like the YA horror books I used to read when I was a kid. So like Fear Street. And honestly, like with the Fear Street movie coming out, I was already writing my book. So it was just like worked out perfectly because now everybody has Fear Street fever. I'm like, well, this will be great because that's kind of what my book is. It's like a love letter to Fear Street and all of those.
Oh my gosh, I can't
horror.
wait to read it.
That's
I
awesome.
cannot wait. I've had Autumn Crow here. I mean, since you first released it, I ordered it, and I just every damn fall when I want to read it, I always forget about it because I had it downstairs. But this year I'm like, no, you're being moved up here and I am reading you. And I'm like so excited for the new one too.
Oh, well, I hope you like it.
I'm sure I will.
Autumn Crow, like definitely fall. I mean, like, obviously that's what you were going for, but
Yeah.
it is like perfect for fall read.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Go ahead, Mandy.
Oh, I'm next? Okay. My name is Amanda, and I have a YouTube channel, Mandy's Morgue of Horror. I'm on Instagram, MandyMorgue87, and I like all things horror, books, movies, whatever. And I live with my dog Barlow, and we just watch scary things all day. And yeah, that's about it.
Me now?
Yep.
I've been texting my husband and my daughter to bring me water because I'm like dying right now.
I know, I'm the same way.
I forgot to bring mine, and I know I always bring mine. But anyways, I'm Marcy from Marcy Reads. I'm always all over the place. I never make sense, and you guys are getting a taste of that now. I read predominantly horror, but I love all kinds of genres. There's just times where I need a break from all the like what is that called? Extreme horror that I read. So yeah, I love a little bit of everything, and I talk a lot. My videos are super long about books.
All right, and I'm Carol, and you're on my channel, and you've probably all been here before, most of you, but I'm pretty eclectic in my reading, but summer and fall, very heavy on the horror. I'm working my way through King chronologically for the most part. But yeah, so I'm super excited to talk about this book because
She loved it.
I think it's one of my new like favorites of all time.
Wow.
Like I know, and I hyped it up a lot before going into it because I've seen so many people talk about like how it's like a classic and how great it is and the writing and everything, that when I first started it, I was a little nervous because it went pretty slow. But if you guys want to give some of your initial thoughts, or if it's, I don't know, Cameron and I are talking and he said he was new to the book, like it wasn't a reread or anything. So I don't know if you guys had read it before, or Michael McDowell before.
This was my first time reading it, and my first Michael McDowell book. So
Yeah,
I really liked it. It was definitely really slow. But it's like, it was really slow, but stuff was also happening at the same time in the background, it felt like. But I got major Beetlejuice vibes. India reminded me of Lydia so much, and I loved that. But yeah, and there was some really creepy stuff in here, like the crawling baby thing in the like last half of the book. Like those whole final moments in the house were really unsettling. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I think it definitely had some good creepy factors that, like, to me, there's all different types of horror. You've got like super suspense, like thrilling horror, and like jump scares, or like this was like that slow burn.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't expecting to have like that crawling baby thing. Like like I did not expect something like that from this book. But once we started, seeing things, beans in the sand, like it just wasn't, I hadn't heard of that stuff happening in the book. So I wasn't expecting that from like such the slow buildup that we had.
Yeah, I had not read any Michael McDowell. I've just always heard about his books, especially the Elementals, the Blackwater Chronicles, I think is what it's called, the Amulet. And I was telling Carol, I thought I owned the Elementals, and then I looked on my shelf after I was invited to do this. I'm like, yeah, I have all of his other books, but I don't have this one.
It was a sign.
Yeah, that's why I was like, well, we'll go on Audible, and they had the audiobook. So I was able to listen to it. And yeah, I've always heard that this is like a classic, or an unknown classic, because a lot of people weren't really talking about it so much, like before Paperbacks from Hell, and then that came out, and then it kind of put it back on the map, I guess. I'd always heard that Michael McDowell wrote Beetlejuice, so I was excited to see if that came into play, because that's my favorite movie. And
oh, really?
Yeah, it's one of my faves. Like I love that movie. I grew up on it, and there are definitely some elements that I could see where I was like, yeah, that's a little Beetlejuice. And like you said about India, she's so Lydia, it's crazy. And then there were other moments where I'm like, especially the slower moments, that it kind of, I don't know, I guess it surprised me from the guy who wrote Beetlejuice, because that's such a quick movie. It's so well paced, and it's kind of wacky and zany. And this is not. It's very slow and brooding and atmospheric. So still pretty different at the same time.
I think the characters are a little wacky in their own right because they're
Right.
kind of weird. Like,
Yeah.
what was the son's name? Was it Lucas?
Luker. Oh,
Luker.
Luker. I love me
talking
some
about his sex
Luker.
life with his daughter and walking around naked and all that stuff. And I was just like, is this normal?
I thought there was going to be like an incest thing.
I know.
I was like,
I didn't think that there was going to be an incest thing, but I was just like, I mean, I'm pretty open with my daughter and I have been for many years. And I talk to her pretty rough, but it was so weird seeing a dad, you know, oh, she knows what king is, you know, just like nothing. And so it made me, I don't know if it was said in the book, but it made me kind of forget and question how old she was. Cause I still to this day don't know. I kept picturing her young, then like teens and then younger. And so I don't know where she fell on the age spectrum.
I'm pretty sure it says she's 13.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I couldn't remember that. And
right.
so
but being open about like sex and stuff, I think is one thing, but like for her to know, like he liked being tied up or something like a kink that she knew about. I was like,
he had like no filter with her, like none whatsoever. It was like that was his brother or something.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I didn't read the synopsis at all. I mean, I usually don't. So there was a lot of things that like I found like kind of weird, like the sand dunes. I didn't expect that. But I thought it was like the creepiest aspect of the book, or the creepier aspect for me, like with the picture scenes when they were seeing like the bodies in the background.
Yes.
That to me was like, whoa, I found it so creepy. But I will say that although the book really grabbed me at the beginning and I was loving it so much, it kind of died down for me. Like after the first quarter of the book, and I love slow books. So it wasn't that it was slow. Some of my favorite books are those slow, like by the fire, you know, storytelling kind of things, but it just lost something for me. And I don't know what it is.
It lost the burn for me in the middle because, you know, there's a difference between slow burn and slow.
Yeah.
And I felt like it started out, it had the burn. And then toward the middle, I'm like, now it's just kind of slow. Yeah. But then I felt like it paid off in the end, you know, which is what a slow burn book should do. Yeah. But yeah, I agree. I did feel a little bored, I guess, by around the middle.
Yeah.
It did kind of dip a little bit, and then we get things like this with like the creepy girl. It was almost like it was like a really calm, nothing's really going on, and then you have something extreme, like her India seeing the girl, or like getting the pictures, and it was kind of. I think it was. I don't know. I just liked it a lot, so I feel like I'm just
and you know the thing is that for me, when I get those scenes where you know, like that girl with the window that she sees, she sort of like pops up when you're not expecting it, or even some parts when they were inside the house. They just did not give me those chills, you know, not necessarily scare me because books usually don't scare me, but you know, that little tingling feeling that some of those scenes should give you. I didn't get them. And I don't know, maybe it was the writing because, you know, this was written back by an adult, not a YA in the adult genre and in the 80s. So I don't know if that affected with me a little bit.
Yeah.
I kept expecting there to be a little something more, and I didn't know if there were like little cues, little things that I was missing in the writing, because I feel like the family, there was a bigger backstory with the Savage family that I didn't fully understand, like Savage mothers eat their children or something, like they cursed. I was a little confused by that.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out this comment because I totally agree, but did it start with just the fact that that woman ate her child? And like, is that where that's where that comes from? But why are they in such a habit of burying people who aren't fully dead?
That was
there were so many things that I feel like if we would have explored it a little deeper, it would have added to that, maybe because this was a very short book. So I feel like maybe a couple more details like that, like what Mandy said with the baby, because I feel like that didn't come into play at all after.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of plop you into the middle of it and you're slowly like trying to get the details. I'm going to have to read it again because I'm
maybe
sure
physically.
Yeah, especially physically, because you miss a lot when you're listening. But I feel like the details might be there, kind of buried. It's just one of those books you have to pay so much attention to in order to get
Yeah,
it.
I feel like also they are using, or Michael McDowell is using Odessa, and I don't know if he's trying to get at like some kind of voodoo magic or something. But she knows so much about the spirits and stuff. It's like she knows, and we just have to trust what she's saying, like how she says, like, the spirits make the heat, or like they are tricking you. That's not actually like Martha or whatever her daughter's name was. Here comes Crystal.
Hi. I'm like half dead. Sorry, guys.
Our little party girl. How are you doing?
Okay. I'm like watching. I'm like, I have such FOMO, but like my voice is like crackling in and out. So can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Continue your conversation.
I feel like Odessa, was that her name?
Yeah.
She was another character that her big reveal as to why she saw these things or knew these things was because of her eyes. I feel like if we would have explored that a little bit more too, it's like you're just thrown into this character telling you about it, but I wanted more from her. Like, I feel like she would have added that extra creep factor within the story.
Yeah.
I agree. I loved Odessa, and I wanted to know more. Like, the scenes between her and India were my favorites.
Yes.
I love their relationship. It's great.
I agree.
Even like I think someone else was talking about like the relationships and how they're weird, but it paid off in the end. I like how Luker and India.
I think I'm hearing an echo.
Oh, is there an echo?
I don't know. I can't hear.
I don't hear one now.
Okay.
I don't hear
Do
one
you hear it
anymore.
No.
Okay. I was just saying that I liked
little
Luker and India's relationship growth.
Yes, for sure. And then I also didn't get like she was not scared of the house, like at the beginning and at the end, but in the middle she had this fear, and then all of a sudden it just went away. I don't know if that was the influence of the house on her. How did you guys take that one?
I noticed that too. Yeah, how she seemed. I'm hearing an echo for me too.
Do y'all have the video on in the background, the YouTube video?
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
No.
I don't hear an echo at all.
Okay.
You guys in the chat hear it? I guess we should talk so they can hear.
That's true. Echo.
That's so weird.
But yeah, I noticed that about Odessa.
Mm-hmm.
How like at one point she's telling India, no, don't talk about it. I don't want to hear it. And then the next, she's like, she knows exactly what's going on. And then she seems afraid again. And then she didn't. I noticed that too. And I'm like,
yeah, it was a lot of like flip flopping.
There was a little bit. Yeah. I noticed that too.
It kind of could have been like, like she didn't want to deal with it, but like then at one point she'd be like, okay, yes, I actually have to. Like, I'm the one who knows what's going on. I have to.
Right.
Yeah, it could be.
Another thing that I loved about it was that they're kind of like where they are, it becomes like an island at a certain part of the day, and they're stuck there.
Yes.
That was the coolest thing ever, because I think that's also in another story, The Woman in Black. I don't know if I haven't read the book, but I know it's in the movie. And that element I thought was really cool.
Yeah, because it almost like secludes them, or what is that?
Isolate.
Yeah, it isolates them, and I love that kind of stuff because you can't do anything about that.
Yeah,
you're stuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing I noticed is that for a lot of the relationships, it didn't totally resolve things in the end. Like, I kept wondering about the weird thing you guys were talking about between the dad and his daughter, because that totally blindsided me. I'm like working on the bookmobile, shelving books at work, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, did I hear that right?
Yeah.
He's walking around in the nude.
Yeah.
Why? And I thought something would come of that because I felt like something weird was happening and maybe something would be revealed.
Yeah.
Is that just like a cult, like a thing in some?
I think that they were just trying to establish a basis of their relationship. You guys, out of everything that happened in the book, the thing that affected me the most, that I talked about it in the chat, was when he was like, "Mama, rub my feet," and she's like, and I peeled his socks off and started, and I was like, "Whoa."
Yeah.
And then here comes the daughter. Get out. I've been standing all day. And was the mom like a foot massager or something? I don't get it.
There's a lot of foot fetish people in that family.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So
There's
many things
definitely
left
some weird
unknown.
Yuck, and it's like we're in the South. I mean, I'm in the South, and it's hot, it's muggy, it was back then where people no.
Lots of stinky feet going
No
around.
air conditioning, nothing.
Nothing. Ooh.
That's so gross.
That's one thing about this book is you could feel the stickiness and the mugginess.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
You
the
can feel it.
sand.
Yeah, the sand.
Yeah, the sand was creepy. I never thought I'd be so freaked out by sand before in my life.
You know
I
what
thought
what got me is like it's done in a bunch of horror movies and books and stuff, but like the footprints of the sand, where it's like something is walking there, but you never saw it, but there's like the footprints. They do it like with water and stuff too.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
That's creepy too.
And yeah,
Another part that I loved was, what's the girl's name? India? Is it India?
Yeah.
Okay. Was when India, she decides that, I mean, she's all scared and she's like, oh my gosh, but then she's sleeping outside when they come back. I'm like, I would not be sleeping outside like by myself. And then she hears the footsteps around the what is that called? I don't know what anything is called. I'm sorry.
The veranda?
Yeah.
Yes, that.
What is a veranda? Is that a porch?
It's like a porch. Yeah.
Okay. I meant to Google it because I was like, I should probably look up what a veranda is. But.
And so then she hears the footsteps, but there's nobody there. I would have died.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Especially after hearing about that story of the kids seeing the woman walking around like the roof.
The
That
roof?
freaked me out.
Oh, yeah.
That was creepy.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
No.
No.
That
Another
was really
thing, I wish they would have. I liked how they went into like Lucre or not Lucre, Daffin. Are we calling him Daffin?
Dolphin.
Dolphin.
Yeah, I couldn't pronounce
I'm
it.
trying to remember how they pronounced it in the audiobook.
Yeah, I like how they.
Dolphin.
Dolphin. That's it. You got it.
I like how they talked about like their different little experiences with like the elementals, and Mary Scott like being found in like the wardrobe or whatever. That was creepy.
It was.
And also, like, I would have liked to hear a little bit more about how she goes to, like, the priests come and tell them, like, these are called elementals. Like there wasn't a ton of explanation other than, like, this is what the priest told her after she, shared her story. But, yeah, her just, like, passed out in the wardrobe or whatever it was.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, that was
Locked
weird.
from the outside. That was really
Yeah,
cool.
like how did she get in? How did anyone know she was in there? That whole
Well, Odessa was the only one who knew.
I knew.
yeah.
I was waiting for them to explain. Like, I was like, is Odessa doing this stuff? Like, what the hell? Like, how?
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
But no, it never
Exactly.
answered.
That would have been interesting if Odessa was the one, or they needed to just lean into the magical powers, voodoo, hoodoo angle a little bit more, because I wanted more of that.
Yeah.
Or maybe the fact that she is sensitive, maybe she's the one who unintentionally heightens the activity of the other house.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Which
there was so much potential at exploring little. I feel like they were and this is a perfect example when Luker is talking to India, or I think it was Luker when he was like telling her about the elementals, and she was like, but what are the elementals? Is it because of the elements? And he was just like, yeah, sure, I feel like that's how,
yeah, whatever.
I feel that's what we were given our information. Like the author was just like, here, do with it what you will, but this is all I'm giving you.
Mhm.
Like, I would have wanted a little bit more.
That too. Definitely. It was interesting. It's a cool element to like learn about.
Yeah.
Something that's not discussed in books. It was a very original thing that I wanted to know more about.
Yep.
Mhm.
I agree.
And even though I keep saying like I wanted more explanation, I'm still I'm happy with the amount because it keeps it mysterious and creepy. And I like Odessa so much. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna trust in her.
Trust what she says. Yeah.
Just believe her.
I loved reading about her. She's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that the narrator did such a great job when it came to her parts, like that southern drawl that he would give it, and like he would like change. Like it was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I just remembered that the water was like fire hot. Remember, like and that was
his foot.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Chanel.
Hello.
There's
I
a
like
lot of
this.
interesting comments.
Yes, I always forget about comments. I'm really bad.
It's hard.
Sand creepy.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, as soon as they I think as soon as Odessa's like, if anything happens to me, eat my eyes. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Like, this is so weird. Like, eat my eyes. Like, what is it was just so crazy.
And that she does
And India's just like, okay.
Yeah, and she does
No,
it.
they didn't have that scene in there though, right? Did
No, they
No.
didn't. She just turned around and says because she did that she could see. But I'm just like, why
She's just
not?
like, how is she? She's just like, okay, I'm just gonna eat your eyes now.
Yeah, it's just like, I wish they would have like described that part. I was like, oh my gosh, that would have been great.
Girl, like,
It
she
was great.
wasn't eating the eyeballs either. She just did it. Like, there's no
She
like.
just did it, yeah. I think it was Odessa, the one that scooped her own eyes out. Was that correct, or am I wrong?
I think that's how it worked because they were like in her hand. And like I don't know if like the elemental would do that because they don't want them to be able to know and see the truth, or like why would they?
Yeah, because she said I think India mentions that Odessa had scooped her eyes out and just
And then she got.
Yeah. There's a lot of mystery still because now I keep thinking about like more things like Odessa healing Dauphin. What did we agree on? But not wanting to heal Marion. And is it because like the family's cursed? I don't know. Like why? What was their thing? And also, why are you burying people who aren't dead?
Yeah.
And
I
then
wanted
like,
to hear more about the stabby thing at the beginning. That sets you off. You're like, something's wrong here.
It's
And
like,
then
well,
they kind of forget about it for a minute.
Yeah. That was
if
crazy.
you're not dead now, you will be dead. You know, it's like instead of just, I don't know, waiting with the thing open for a few days or I don't know, some other way.
look,
just
didn't
kill
they
you.
use in Ireland? Didn't they used to literally like put a string down into your casket and have a bell?
With a bell,
and you could ring
yeah.
the bell, which is like Saved by the Bell. But like,
Yeah.
there were so many things they could have done. Instead, they're like, okay, we're just gonna stab everyone.
Yeah.
That's like
I thought it was going to go in a vampire direction because of that. Like, that's so, like, you know, a Buffy thing, like, slaying.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have been cool.
No vamps.
No vamps. Sand ghosts.
Yeah.
oh yeah, the tomb.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah, I
tomb
like that
that's
too.
really creepy.
That was. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that actually.
Well, that's when she, like, you kind of found out that she was, like, into hoodoo. Like, she knew, like, the witchcraft stuff.
Yeah.
And that's how she was brought up. So,
Mhm.
Yeah.
She knows her stuff.
mhm.
There was. Hold on, I've got all kinds of notes. Hold on.
That's one thing about listening to the audiobooks. Usually I would be putting in a lot of sticky notes and I'm like, well, I looked it up. I'm like, no, I
winging
can't buy it right now.
Yeah.
My library didn't have it.
I didn't even use a lot of tabs on this book, to be completely honest. I mean, I had it ready, but I just didn't find any.
I
I had
found
to
a lot of
like make a family tree, okay, at first because I was like, who, what?
Yeah.
And it's not even the most complicated book that I've read, so I don't know.
But it
where
was
mine
confusing. It was confusing.
I didn't understand the end. Like, the McCraes and the Savages part. Like, did I miss something?
I forgot what happened in the final pages. Like
Yeah, the final page, I was just like, Huh?
Well, we kind of have like the side story of Big Barbara and her like
Yeah.
crappy husband, and they're trying to like he wants to sell the house to the oil barons or whatever they're called, and so he
Yeah.
tries to like burn the house down, but the elementals get him, and then so they're kind of like they need to just destroy everything to like get out of there.
Barlow is joining me because he wants to play. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We welcome all kinds of dogs.
Yeah.
Hi.
How cute. Oh,
He's like, you're not paying
Nice
attention to me. So.
cute.
Yeah, and basically
Hear
like,
noises.
the humans, like take over.
Oh.
Go away.
I'm gonna grab my books. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
And then they've got like I got one passage where like the elementals had taken scraps of cloth and scraps of skin, sewn it and stuffed it with sand. And that was like what India had to fight and beat open. It was like a
Oh yeah.
sand doll.
Mhm.
I'm completely blanking that part out. I like kind of remember that, but I don't.
And then remember, I can't remember anybody's name now. The daughter, Lee, who's married to Dauphin, is pregnant with twins.
Yes.
And she has the twins and she names them Dauphin and Darnley or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And then like
repeat the cycle of weirdness.
yeah, well that's the
First.
thing. Like they India makes a comment, like they're talking about visiting each other or living with each other or something, and she like says she tells Lee that she doesn't like kids, but basically to Lucre she says, remember, I can see what Odessa saw, and those babies aren't McCrae's, they're savages.
Yeah.
The very last line of the book where it's just not going to end. Whatever this like curse or evil is,
It's never gonna
it's
end.
stuck with the family. Yeah. So she's like, peace. I don't want to hang out with these kids.
Yeah.
I mean,
No
It's not like that
right?
location. It's the family.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's a McCrae. She's a McCrae, right?
Lee's the McCrae, and then her husband is the Savage or Savage or whatever, however you pronounce. I took Spanish, not French.
I love what Avi says about Saint Lucy. Is often depicted as holding eyes in her hand like Odessa at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That was I didn't think about that.
I didn't think about that either.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm clicking on it, but it's not showing up.
No,
so
it's showing here.
It's showing.
It's
Okay,
showing.
okay.
Yeah.
Frozen on my end.
Yeah, I didn't put those together either.
Me
That's
neither.
a cool way to look at it.
Yeah.
I love when people have the ability of doing that. Like me, I'm reading something and I'm not thinking about history or anything like that.
Mhm.
But I
I
love
like that too.
Yeah.
I wish I could do
Am I
that.
stupid? Like, how do I train my brain to think? But then when I start reading people's thoughts and after, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right. I get so invested in the story. I don't think about other stuff, like I'm just in the story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it depends on the book too. So
Yeah, I think it's different for me if a book is coming around full circle and it's kind of referencing itself or being symbolic with what it said before. But when it's being symbolic with like history or some kind of religious imagery, sometimes I can go over my head.
Over my head. Yep.
Even though I was
Definitely.
raised going to church, like
Same
Right.
here. It just goes over. Yep.
yep.
It's so funny.
yeah, I like
They
the
actually-
quote too that he opens with from that Sir Thomas Browne about talking about how like the devil makes apparitions and his
Oh yes.
trick is to make you think that they're tricks or whatever. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Another thing, like when she kept saying that they're not, I get confused. Maybe she doesn't say spirits, but they're not spirits. They're just tricking you. I feel like we never got like any of that as well. Like, what are they tricking? Why are they tricking? I guess that's part of like who the elementals really were.
yeah.
It feels almost like cosmic horror in a way where it's very ambiguous because it's like, oh, the terror is so big you can't really describe it in words.
Ah.
But it felt kind of like that only a little less cosmic-y, more like of the earth, since we're dealing with sand.
Right.
So that's kind of what it reminded me of, but I wanted more. I wanted to know more.
Yeah, there was just so much, you know, like
Yeah, this is a great book to read though when you're a writer though. It's very inspiring.
It makes
you
you think.
So it makes you think about other things. But there's so much like spooky stuff in here that's what made it like one of my new favorite books, was that how he wrote the spooky content in this book. I mean, I don't really love the whole storyline as much because it did confuse me as much, but it was really spooky. He was very good at writing those parts. So
and it's a cool take on a haunted house story, because like if you didn't have the house disappearing in a sand dune, it would be I think very different. But that just added on a whole other layer. I mean, no pun intended. Layers and layers, actually.
Yeah, the sand thing was really awesome.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how like the sand is like preserving it, and like how until she breaks the window, there's no sand inside. It's like it's all like stuck underneath this dune.
Yeah.
Cool.
And another thing about like horror and like types of horror, like some of the things that are creepy in this book, like this comment, you're not seeing anything. And like I think even the unknown makes it even more scary. Once we start seeing like the weird baby and what are they, like something about an elephant looking thing in one of the pictures. Like once we get to that stuff, definitely creepy. But sometimes just the unknown is the scariest part.
That part really got to me. The one of the front porch was because last August we went we stayed up in the mountains in Tennessee in like this huge cabin, but like there's no other houses around for like, you know, and we're like at the top of the mountain where the house was at, the cabin was at. And it was me and my sister-in-law, and we're sitting, it was close to nighttime already. So like it was pretty dark. We didn't have any of the lights on except the ones inside the house. So we're sitting on the porch, and it's one of these wraparound porches. And we're sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear like running, and I'm like, oh my, and our husbands were away like buying something. They had gone somewhere. And I'm like, oh my gosh, are they messing with us? And she hears the running too. And there was nobody there. We just kept hearing, you guys. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, Myra, I swear there's somebody. And we went all around in the dark. I mean, there was no light. I was freaking out.
I love it.
That's why so that creepy. Got to me.
Wow.
That's very creepy.
Yeah, I was definitely spending a lot of time thinking about like stuff like, okay, is this real or not? And then once we started getting into like that Odessa's daughter died, I was like, oh, one of the boys actually probably killed her.
Yeah,
and this brother's missing, so he probably did it and took off. And then we get into the oil guys, and I'm like, okay, they're trying to scare these people off this land.
Yeah. Right.
But then, like, once we really started, like, seeing, you know, we start seeing things, I'm like, okay, nobody's going to be, like, faking these sand creatures.
Yeah.
The baby with the million rings on its fingers or something. That's, like, an extra bit of information I didn't need to know about this baby crawling around.
Disgusting.
It's got, like, a gaudy jewelry on. Like, what is
yeah.
Oh, I forgot about the parrot.
I did too, but I like how the one thing it ever says is the these are babies or whatever.
Yeah.
That parrot's seen some things.
Yeah.
Parrot's seen a lot.
I know, it's like everyone's secrets. Him and Odessa
it wasn't a bear like at all. It was coming from like either the roof, and this is like a 3-story like cabin. I mean, it's a huge cabin. It has like 8 bedrooms, and it was like up on the roof, and then sometimes from inside the house. But I just think it was the wood, you know, the woods, like they do whatever they do, and it just creates noises, and it just sounded like somebody running. It was
it was definitely ghosts.
It was totes a ghost.
You guys, they're going to invite us again. I'll be like, no, I'm not going.
I'll go. I'll go hunt.
We'll take a trip to the sand dunes instead. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
No, not that either.
No.
Everything is scary.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And like the horror in the daytime too, like that hits different than horror at night. Like horror at night, yes, the killer is hiding in the dark, duh. But like it's like there during the day and stuff. That's
and I think you just hit it with me, Carol, because I'm not scared of things in the daytime, like at all. I can walk in a haunted house in the daytime, like nothing. I can go anywhere, but at night, if something happens at night, like that instance, it just adds for me. But during the day, I'm like, I would have thrown a baseball at her or something.
yeah, but it's like you think like the daytime takes the power of the evil away, or like the terror, whatever, and like you think you're safe in the daytime, but then when you have like horror in the daytime, you realize like you're never safe. Like there's no escape.
Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an all day event.
Oh, I don't remember that part. What's that part? The rolls with the seeds.
She was trying to
protect them.
Yeah, but it like didn't work.
Yeah. She was like, I think that the spirits made me think that they would work, but they didn't work this time.
Oh, yes.
But she was doing something with India, like some kind of spell, and India was helping her.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And it just made me really want rolls. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
I think they cut her hands or something.
Yeah. What is this?
Well, thank you.
Thanks for that.
Illuminate's using a flashlight.
On how the author describes Odessa.
I don't remember how he describes her.
He called her the black woman a lot.
Yeah.
over and over again.
This is definitely dated.
Yeah. In the introduction, maybe it is that I read, I think that he kind of talks about like she's your typical Southern black woman, and he always has to point out that she's a black woman, and that it's definitely a dated thing, and that she needs help, and that she wants to stay with the family, even though she shouldn't. She doesn't have to, but she feels like she needs to stay and take care of them, and
I think she's badass. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead.
I don't know, like, if that was really more of a commentary on how the family was treating her than rather what the author was seeing. I know he wrote the story, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like that was an element to the family's character.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a status thing. It's definitely more of like a status thing with the family and their help, basically.
Yeah.
And putting labels on things.
With the family coming from politics and everything too, they're all very much about status and everything.
Yeah.
So you might be on to something there.
And it's old money, and they always talk about. They've mentioned multiple times like they have so much money, they don't know what to do with it or whatever.
Yeah. And and I felt like that, like when we were reading them, it didn't feel like we were reading a family that had money, other than the properties, but they just seemed like. And other than having help, obviously, they just
multiple cars and the.
Did they have? I don't know if I lost like notion of the story because there was times where I was like, oh my gosh, I'm listening to. I would like drift off in thought, but I just didn't get that like ritzy part of them. I don't know if anybody else.
Maybe because of like the aspect of like the time period, like they're not talking about. I don't know, like phones and electronics and they're so cut off from the world when they're at the three houses that it does make it seem like, they're so hot and stuff. And it's kind of like, go to one of your nice houses where it's cooler, but it's like they're like, when they're at those houses, it is kind of like a different feel, except for they have Odessa who's like live-in help,
Yeah.
I was the other women.
Yeah.
At the small house. Was it called the small house or something? Or am I wrong? The other house that they had?
I don't know. I just found that Dauphin was so down to earth. Like he just didn't seem, was that just me?
No, I think he seemed more, compared to Luke or
Luker to me was just like this rough, like no manners. I guess that's another reason because Luker didn't seem like he had manners. Big Barbara kept commenting on how India didn't have like any manners. So I'm like, okay, well, usually back then when people had money, they would like go and, you know, be educated in manners or whatever. But I don't know. I just felt like I didn't get that part of them. And let me tell you, even if I was rich and I went to one of these houses, I would be complaining of the heat too.
Yeah, that's what I kept
But I
thinking.
mean, I think it was like a North versus South thing too. So they're probably
New York,
old fashioned in the South, and then like Luker's up in New York, like
New York,
partying, taking Quaaludes or whatever, and like living it up with his 13-year-old daughter. Like it's just a different world, and I don't know. I don't know
Too, right? Like, wasn't he
Yeah.
like talking about
He was
her?
like, oh, here
taking
you need
pills?
something.
Yeah, like-
Right.
Pushing pills on his kid.
Jeez.
She's like seeing dead bodies. Like when she mentioned seeing a dead body in New York, the way she talked about it, I was like, oh, so is she like, can she see dead people, or is this just like a regular dead person she's seeing? Like I thought they were going to go that
Yeah, I
way.
thought that too.
Yeah, they didn't. Oh yeah, I forgot
India's mom
about
was pretty fucking weird.
India's mom.
Yeah, they don't really go into what exactly happened there either.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I think they made it sound like she maybe cheated on Luker,
Hmm.
but I don't know if that's, you know, it's Big Barbara. She's gonna like love her little son and everything.
Yeah, and we kind of are learning everything about it from the perspective of Luker and India, who would have learned it from Luker, dad. So it's
Right.
like, what really happened there? You're just getting really what Luker thinks about it, and then his mom is just going to go with whatever
Yeah,
favors
but
us.
I don't think she was. Are we talking about the ex-wife? Luker's? Okay, I don't think she was a really nice person because remember when they were talking about that she came back into their lives for a little bit and she ransacked the whole apartment and like I was like, oh my gosh, bitch.
Mm.
I thought it was clever.
We won't piss you off, Carol.
For real.
But yeah, you're right. We are only getting it from their perspective,
Yeah.
but like knowing Luker as a character, we could probably guess that that's maybe not the true story, or like
Or
maybe
he
he
was
had
just
more
bad.
of a, yeah.
Two sides to every story.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
So I don't know about Luker. I don't know about that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
he
he did
was
redeem
weird.
himself towards the end, though, because he's like, okay, I'm gonna, even though like it's your 13-year-old daughter, you're just gonna be like, okay, I'll leave you here to fight the demons.
Right.
But like he trusted her, he listened to her. That
She,
kind of
like-
redeemed him.
He was like his
Yeah.
dad. It was so weird. Like she controlled him.
Well, yeah, he never grew up. He always needs a mama.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And she really is like his mom in a lot of ways. She's a
Yeah.
lot more mature than he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. Someone has to be the adult situation. And she puts the reins on it.
But also too, maybe like she's got some kind of like at her personality and her like as a being, and that's why like Odessa's able to connect with her because she's like a strong person, like a mature
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
It's almost like she was destined to take Odessa's place. and
Yeah.
She was destined to eat her eyeballs.
And become
Older.
that.
Sometimes you are. You're like,
Yeah. No, hey.
I'm telling you, if that depended on me, I'd be like, I'm sorry, buddy, but y'all are screwed. I'm not eating your eyes. You're not being saved. Goodbye.
No.
No,
Yeah.
look, I would have been out of there way before that because of the heat.
I know.
So.
Yeah. Way too hot.
step
I mean,
out
I
of the
wouldn't
car.
have even. She was like dying to get into the house on that first date. I would have been like, no, let's stay in the furthest house from that house because there's something going on here that's not right.
I kind of think I would want to explore it a little bit, but once I saw the dead kid, I would have been like, all right, I'm out of here. I'm not coming back. Like,
Or
no,
that, you know, she sees like the dead kid or whatever, and then a little later on, she learns that Odessa's daughter died there, and then like just is like, oh wow, that sucks, and like moves on. I'm like, are we not making this connection right now? Like,
I'm trying to think about what I would do if I were in her shoes. and I would probably want to explore it too.
No, that's how people die. That's how people die.
I would be afraid to like fall in. Okay, when you live somewhere where there's a lot of snow, they pile the salt up, that they put on the roads, and they always tell kids not to play on them because you fall in and suffocate and die.
Oh
and that's why I would be afraid of the sand. Like,
I just heard a story.
Come on the house, fall. No.
Yeah,
I just heard a story on TikTok about these. It's like worst ways to die. And it was like two little boys. They were playing in a snowbank, and a snowplow came to like put the snow on. They didn't know the boys were there, and they got buried in the snow.
Yep.
Oh my god.
So
it's terrible.
Crazy like that.
That's what worry about.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I think
it sounds like a Fear Street way to die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you guys all love it, by the way? Did you guys all love Fear Street? Did you watch
Yes.
Yes.
it? Was so
Yeah, I am a Fear Street super fan, so I have some opinions about it, but overall, I had a lot of fun with it, and I want more.
I know.
Are you talking about the movies?
What
The
was that?
movies.
Oh.
Are you talking about the movies?
Yeah.
I haven't watched them yet. Well, because I haven't read any of Fear Street. You guys
I don't
know.
think matter. You don't.
I
need
was
to.
raised very like guarded. Like I could not watch scary stuff, read scary stuff. It sucked. And so now I'm like exploring all these things that I probably would have been obsessed with when I was young.
You'll be obsessed with Fear Street because you love slashers and things like that. Like you will love Fear Street. You definitely have to get into it.
They're good slasher movies.
Yeah.
And they're different from the books. I grew up on the books, so there were things about it I was disappointed in, but I think as its own thing, as its own movie, really, really good slashers.
Yeah.
Especially part 2.
Yeah, that was
That was my favorite too.
That was my favorite. I loved it.
70s. You can't go wrong with that. So campy. It was perfect.
Oh, I can't wait.
Three girls. I
yeah.
love that.
Oh yeah, I was crying at the end even.
Yeah, see, I
Emotional.
know.
Oh man, if you cried, then I'm gonna cry.
Marcy, you will.
You won't see me for weeks. Where's Marcella? She's still crying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I was expecting some kind of like super cheesy like CW show. No.
Yeah, no, it was dark. It was dark.
Yeah.
Very
it was
brutal.
gory.
The trailers look very like I didn't expect that either when I was watching the trailers. But you know what my issue is? I know that I don't have to read the books, but I feel like if I watch the movies, then when I read the books, I'm gonna imagine it as today and not back in the 80s or that time.
Yeah.
The movies take place in the the first one takes place in the 90s, second takes place in the 70s, and the books they came out in like the late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s. So I think they did good setting it in those time periods. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now I have a question for you guys because I never read like the saga ones. Does that have to do with like the 1600s?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have to buy them.
Yeah, they changed quite a few things with it. They more or less condensed it.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of reversed some of the roles, which you'll see if you read the saga. The saga's really good.
Yeah,
really good.
I'm just gonna find those and order those.
Yeah, just add them to the list.
I found them recently at like Savers.
Oh, really?
Savers. I found 2 copies of each, like randomly on different times, and I was like,
it was meant to be.
Yeah, I was like, I guess I need both of these that I already have, so I'll just get them again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I will say the saga was republished in a bind-up called The Betrayal or just Betrayal. So if you look that up on Amazon, they have all 3 in the bind-up labeled as Betrayal on Kindle Unlimited for free.
Yeah, I have that one saved. Thank God that you told me that. So should I read the other ones first?
I would recommend starting with a regular Fear Street book. I think Silent Night is the best Fear Street, and it is still in print.
Ordering it.
It's from Barnes & Noble. I ordered mine on there.
It still has the original cover.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's so good. It's my favorite.
Lois Duncan, some of her books they republished and added like cell phones and shit to them.
Yeah.
They don't do that with
Yes.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I love Lois Duncan. I try to buy all of her older editions because I hate that they add in modern technology.
Yeah.
They did have some Fear Street reprints in like 2005 that added in some like modern day technology.
Ugh.
And now you read it because it was in 2005 when they added it, and it's still dated. It's like
it's still dated.
keep it. Just keep it how it was.
Yeah. It's so true.
They're like, oh, I rented Lord of the Rings on DVD. It's like, yeah, well,
Oh gosh.
still dated. Sorry.
Yeah, it's still
I think another good one to read is Lights Out because it has Camp Nightwing in it, and that's where part 2 is set.
Yes.
I have to put that one on my thing.
Yeah.
So I
Silent
need
Night,
to read this in
Lights
any
Out.
order or
No.
however.
No.
Okay.
I've been reading them. I went back to the beginning and started rereading them in order, but you don't have to. They're all kind of their own thing. I'm just a geek.
I'm like that. I'm the same way. I like to do things in order.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. And so I'm like, damn, now I need to get them all and read them all in order. But I don't know. I might not.
Every time I watch Cameron's book hauls, I'm like on eBay. I'm like, okay. gotta get this one, gotta get that one.
I know, watching the vlogs for Fear Street and stuff, like you reading them, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I need to read them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have opened up the Fear Street can of worms. Now I'm like, don't get too far off topic, Cam.
This is
I
what
could
we
talk
do.
about this for hours.
We go into other stuff. So it's
Yeah.
Ooh, Summer of Fear. I have that on my shelf. I need to read it.
It's good. It's good. I just recently read that. That was really good.
It sounds like the perfect summer read.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love summer horror so much, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love reading horror in the summer more than any. Like, I mean, obviously, I read
yes,
But-
Cameron. That book was so
Paradise
good.
Club.
Oh, Paradise Club.
I'm reading it now. It's bonkers.
I love it so much.
Crazy.
That's a good word for it. Yes.
I'm like, it's intense because you can't hide anywhere.
No,
There's
You're
cameras that I was like, well, what would I do? Would I hide in like a ventilation system? No, they'd see me climbing up there and then
Yeah.
I'd be dead.
And everything was so like fast. Like, okay, well, here we're releasing, and boom, 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 boom. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's quick.
it was good, really
I would
good.
die. I would die.
Yes, me too.
Me
I would
too.
be one of the
Be good
first.
in a
Like,
second.
I just finished this one. It's called
Oh.
Scavenger Summer.
Okay.
And it's super short.
that looks so
And
good.
this reminded me quite a bit of the Elementals in a lot of ways in terms of like the slow burn and everything. But this is kind of like a beachy invasion of the body snatchers.
Order.
Oh my God, wait, what's it called?
It's called Scavenger Summer.
Scavenger Summer.
Are we buddy reading this, you guys?
I
'Cause,
love Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the movie, and I want to read the book, but I want to read this too.
Yeah.
oh, this is part of Kindle Unlimited. Perfect, because I'm trying not to spend money.
Oh my
Takes
God.
place in summer of 1986. So
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. I'm
all
gonna
the coming of age vibes.
Okay, I'm gonna read that.
Good buddy
I need
read
to
on
stop buying
I
books.
love
I,
coming of age horror. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Mm-hmm.
I have so many books to read.
Me
You're
too.
welcome.
Thank you. Yes.
I started reading the Book of Accidents, and it's such a big one, and it's really good,
Mhm.
but it's gonna take me a little bit.
I have that
That's
one
amazing.
too, but it's scary. It's scary looking.
Yeah, it's very off the bat. It's scary. The book itself looks scary, and actually, like, there's creepy scenes within the first like 2 chapters. So
Well,
pretty
okay.
good. Yeah.
Good to know.
Did you read that, Cameron, or no?
I haven't read it. No, I've heard of it. It looks good.
Yeah. let's go.
Yeah, I'd like to read it.
Which
Someone
one?
says Kill Hill Carnage. I have that, and I haven't read it yet. I need to read that. I think that's a campy one.
Oh,
I think I have it on my
Did we
shelf.
Oh my
all-
gosh, is that Tim Mayer? Is that the one? Oh my gosh, I love Tim
Yeah.
Mayer so much. Do not get
Yeah,
me
he's
started.
great.
I'm like, I love him.
I have Lords of the Deep. That's the next one coming up. He wrote that with Patrick Lacey.
Oh,
the next one I'm hoping to read is this one.
Oh,
Yes.
have fun.
Oh, it's a great thing.
I haven't read that yet. I've been seeing everybody talking about
Yeah, it's everywhere.
It'd take you like half an hour. Just do it. Just
Yeah,
it.
really.
All right, I'll buy it. I need to just jump on Amazon. I'll do it right now.
I'm on my phone, just like
We're all shopping.
It's the ebook's on Scribd. if you have Scribd, but yeah, I don't know if it's on Kindle Unlimited, but I read, yeah. I keep pushing it on people and I feel really bad.
What's it called again?
Things have gotten worse since we last spoke.
Yeah.
I knew it was something like that. I was like,
It's a very long title.
I love that it's like it's supposed to be like email through email, right? It makes me think of Scanlines, which is another book that's like set in the 90s, and it's about boys who find a tape online.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys read it?
By Todd Kiesling?
I got that in the Nightworms box.
I got it too, but I haven't read it.
Good.
What is it called?
Scanlines.
So these boys find a video that's like somebody's suicide.
This one?
Yes. And then they start getting haunted by the video.
You beat me to it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks gruesome.
I love it in like one sitting.
I love Todd Kiesling. I read Devil's Creek by him. I actually have a reading blog on it, and it was like my first reading blog, like on that book. And I loved it so much. His writing is so creepy at times. Is it the same with this one?
Like a cult horror or something. I feel that's about like a cult thing, right?
Yeah, it's a cult story.
Yeah,
I haven't read Devil's Creek.
Devil's Creek.
But I really want to because I really enjoyed his writing in Scanlines.
Yeah.
It's really creepy.
Yeah.
It's like a coming of age story, but really fucked up. Like,
it looks like it. When Devil's Creek came out, that was the one everyone was talking about. And I still haven't read that one either. There's so much
time. Oh, it's so good. It's a little bit of a chunker though, but it's really, really, I mean, for me, I thought it had these creepy scenes that I just gave me chills, and
I think it's free on Kindle Unlimited right now too.
It probably is.
Yeah.
Same. I love internet.
My cart. I have an excuse to because people are telling me I should.
Exactly. What should we be reading for September, guys? Has anyone like come up with any ideas? Like,
Carol's ready.
What?
Okay, cool. Let's hear it. I'm ready.
It looked like Carol was ready. She's like grabbing her phone.
She got it.
I'm ready. I screenshotted some stuff. Well, there's a couple like new. Do we want to do backlist or do we want to find a new release?
Maybe a new release or something, right?
Maybe new, yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. Because we're doing Joyland next month.
Yeah.
So I think September we need something like new and fresh, you know?
Well, I don't have any new release options for September.
Well, anything that not just like maybe new in the last year or something. Like, what do you got going on? Yeah.
How do you check to see what books are coming out? Like date? Can you see what books are release date on here?
Cameron, do you have any suggestions?
Yeah.
You think we should all read?
The only one I can think of right now is Grady Hendrix' new book, Final Girl Support Group.
Oh yeah. I'm not going to
one book she dislikes.
Marcy didn't like it? I loved it.
I gave it 3 stars. I enjoyed it for the most part, but to me, it just didn't feel like a Grady book. It was, I don't know, it was missing something.
It was different. That's how I felt about Riley Sager's new book too. They're being a little adventurous with their writing.
Same. I gave both of those 3 stars, and I was disappointed by it, but that does not mean that I didn't. I enjoyed it for the most part, but it just was missing the little touches.
I think because I listened to an interview that Grady Hendrix just did on Books in the Freezer podcast, and it's a really good interview where he talks about when he wrote it. I think he started it in like 2013, and no one wanted, like his publisher didn't want it because it was the same year that Riley Sager came out with a book about Final Girls.
Yeah.
So he's been working on it since 2013.
Wow.
So I feel like maybe that's
yeah.
But I haven't read it yet, so I don't know.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. That was a really good interview. I love listening to him speak about the genre.
I love him.
I can listen to him forever, honestly. He's so good.
He's
my soulmate, but he doesn't know it yet.
Seriously.
He's so good.
What is this one? I have a couple.
I've completely forgotten all books that I have wanted to read. So
I'm like racking my brain because I'm like, I'm supposed to know this stuff, but I've been off of
you
social.
should suggest your book. Hello. Be like, hello.
When does
Oh
your,
my
when's your next book
gosh!
come
Why
out?
not?
Yeah, when's your next-
You suck.
Hey, if you guys did it, that would be fun.
That would be so awesome. When does
Yeah.
it
I'll
come out
send
in
you copies
September?
when it's out.
When does
Yeah,
it come out in
definitely.
September?
Well, that's the thing with indie publishing. I'm putting it out myself, so it's
Right.
like it's so up in the air. You never know, like
You never
exactly
know.
when it's gonna hit. I'm just shooting for late September, maybe early October, but I would
Okay.
really like to do late September for these kinds of things, so people have more.
Yeah, so
of a
maybe
date.
we could do it for October because that would be
Yeah.
the perfect book for
Well,
October.
we have Stephen King going, but it's October, so we could double up and do, you know, an indie pick, and we could do, you know, the Stephen King pick for October.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Autumn
so-
Crow High will be very, very thin, so could be
Yeah,
a quick
let's
read.
do it. I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down too.
Yeah, me too. That sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
I'm excited.
Oh, my heart.
I love
is
Autumn.
Hey, what about because I feel like it's not that new, but I mean I don't think it's that old, but he just
Yeah.
came out with a new book, so we could do either his new one or this one. But what about The Forgotten Island for September?
Oh,
That book is fucking
Let's do it.
awesome. Pardon my
Is
French.
it?
Yeah.
Look at that cover.
Yeah, and I figured Island,
Okay.
September is still kind of, I mean, it's still summer, you guys. Okay,
Yeah.
I know you guys like to think it's fall, but it is not until the 22nd.
I already have some of my Halloween decorations out already.
Yeah, yeah.
We did
I
Turtle
always
Halloween,
have
like
mine.
August.
I always have mine out. It's okay. But I'm thinking maybe we could do this one, or he has the new one that just came out. I forgot what it's, something Victim.
Mhm.
Oh,
I remember the
good.
cover. That book
Was
is
it the Forgotten
amazing.
Island that was
Is it?
It's so crazy. I hope none of you guys have arachnophobia.
Oh no.
I hate spiders.
The island one?
Oh,
I really
Yeah.
hate spiders, but I will conquer my fears.
I do too, but man, it got to me. But that's why
that's why you
love
read horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I read horrors, because I like to get freaked out. So
Yeah, I
Right?
was like, this is awful. I love it.
I've read the other one by him. What's it called?
Is it
Night Shoot,
Night
and
Shoot.
really enjoyed it. There was
Yeah.
some moments there
What is
too.
that one about? Is that one of the movie?
That's more of a slasher, right?
Night Shoot, yeah, it's about these college kids that they're like in film class and they have to film their last film. Like that's a big project, so they get this huge like Victorian house mansion and they're shooting in there, but they have to get out at a certain time because after that time you don't want to be in that house. I'm just gonna say that.
Ooh.
But
That
it's
sounds
kind of
cool.
nasty at times, and oof.
The Forgotten Island gets pretty nasty too, but
Does
his
it? Okay.
writing at the same time is so good. Like he
Oh,
should not be independently published. He should
No,
be.
definitely not. He has good. Yeah, I agree.
I'm down for the Forgotten Island.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's
Yeah.
a
I'm
fun one to
excited.
talk about.
I'm
All
so
right.
I'm
excited.
seeing. I'm very interested in the Last House on Needless Street.
That one comes
Yeah,
out in
same.
September though, so I don't think it would be a good choice for
No.
September.
Yeah, it comes out like the end of September.
The
I have it
22nd.
already. So I got the UK edition, but to do it,
Yeah.
for people.
Gotcha.
work, that isn't good. But
Yeah, I read that.
I think the Forgotten Island sounds good because I've never read anything from that author before, so I'm looking.
I haven't either.
Because he's been on my radar, but I just haven't been able.
Oh, I'm excited.
I'm excited to hear you guys talk about it because
Yeah.
there's a lot to dig into with that.
Yeah. Well, if you'd like to join us on the live show, you totally can.
Yeah.
I would love to. I'd love to talk about it.
Yeah.
And they're in Thailand, and I think their spiders are bigger there than they are.
Oh my
here.
god. They're in
They're
Thailand. Okay.
It's not
We're
just.
gonna have a
spiders,
lot
though.
to
There
say
are
about
other
this book. I
things
have a
going on.
feeling.
Mm.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Okay,
That's
so
September.
that's September, right?
Well, we should
Yeah,
talk
we
about.
need it in November too.
next month.
but Let's see.
We're reading Joyland next month, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Forgotten Island. And then did we decide on Pet Cemetery for October? for
I
the
think
Stephen
that's what we
King?
talked about. Yeah.
Okay, and then we have
To make Mandy read it.
I do need to read it. I know.
And then Autumn Crow. It's Autumn Crow. What?
Hi.
Hi.
Crow
Crow
High.
High.
It's all about the high
I'm
school.
so excited.
Cool.
Me too. Me too.
Well, should we like reread Autumn Crow before that one comes out? Like, are there
I
gonna
will.
be like?
I still need to do it. I
You
will
don't
read it.
have to, but there are Easter eggs for
Okay,
sure.
I'm gonna
Like,
read it before then.
you will see some hints to some other stories in Autumn Crow for sure.
Cool.
Cool.
Awesome.
But you
Oh my
don't.
gosh,
you
I'm so
definitely don't.
excited. I'm so excited.
I should be releasing the cover to the book whenever I get back on Instagram. I just need to get my ass back on there. But as soon as I do,
Yeah.
It's so good to be off, man. Like, just
Yeah.
it feels so
just
good.
kicking
You
back.
have to take breaks.
It's like a weight off your
Instagram-
shoulders.
Instagram is switching over to a video platform now.
Oh, it's just gonna be TikTok now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Really?
I'm so bad at it. I did like my one video. It took me like an hour to do it. I'm like different segments. I'm like, is this good? Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
There's a
So
way that you guys could do. So it's like the green screen reel part, and then you just paste your picture in there, and it goes up like a picture. But you could add music to it, so it doesn't necessarily have to be a video. But you could use the green screen.
Okay.
That's what I did one time just to try it out, and it's
Yeah.
super easy for those
Yeah.
that don't
I feel
want
like
to
it's
go through all
easier
of
than
that.
YouTube a little bit because like I don't have like hours to edit as
Edit,
much as I
yeah.
used to anymore. So I gotta try to get into that a little bit more. I think it's
Yeah.
better content.
I don't understand.
Right? Real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't understand, why do we have to make everything the same? Like, why do
I
we have
know.
to force people to do videos instead of pictures? Let's have different, and let's, I don't know,
Okay,
compete.
different
Have
platforms.
people forgot, like, how to compete? I don't know.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll have to try my hand at it when I come back because I mean I do videos all the time. So one of the things I like about Instagram is just posting a picture.
Yeah, it's the simplicity of it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I already do videos all the time. I don't want to have to always do them.
Yeah, but I'm sure you would be great, Cameron. So
Yeah.
you would be knocking it, blowing it out of the water.
We'll see. I'll try. I'll have to adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
They have to be pretty short videos, right?
Yeah, they're like 30 seconds, are they? Or something like
Yeah.
that?
Okay. That's not as bad as like Vine was. That's what I
Yeah.
remember doing is Vine.
Well, that's what
Vine.
it kind of
6
is
seconds.
like Vine a little bit now. It's
Yeah.
kind of like that a little bit.
What wasn't Vine TikTok? It's like wasn't TikTok Vine at one point?
No, I
They're
think
the
they were
most similar, I
separate.
think.
They're pretty similar, yeah.
Oh,
I think TikTok used to be just music, right? And then it kind of became known for funny videos and stuff.
Yeah. It was like dancing, a lot of dancing. And
Yeah,
Oh,
dancing.
Yeah.
I can't dance, so I don't know. I wasn't around.
I read books. you
Yeah,
know.
I'll stick with my book.
So we could just get on the video.
Yeah. Do a little shimmy. Book
Although I
shimmy.
do like those videos where like people are passing things to each other, like through the video, like you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are clever. Those are
one of
Those are
those.
cool.
How do you do one of those?
Oh, Musically. I knew it was something. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I think that's what I was thinking of.
Mm.
Musically.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for the upcoming reads.
Yeah,
So
same.
much to read.
I
All
know.
the
I'm
time.
so excited.
I'm excited for fall weather. I know you're not. You like the summer?
I am. I love it all. And especially, but this is the thing, you guys. Like, I'm from Miami, so all we have is heat and beach and sun. There's no, and on the cooler months, it's like 55 degrees if you're lucky one night.
Right.
It's not. So I'm used to the heat and the stuff. But then traveling and living in different places, I told my husband, I'm like, I want to live somewhere where like the 4 seasons are just super defined, because I think there's nothing better than that.
Yeah.
Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where
I
we
was
get
looking
here.
like into the PNW area. Ohio was another one. Oh, I'm so excited.
Mhm.
No, and then you get to February in Ohio, and you're like, "What?" the
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, like, you know.
It's
Don't come
awful.
to New Jersey.
Is it?
Gas prices are ridiculous over here. It's like
Oh.
$5 a gallon over here.
Wow.
And a little
Right now.
cardboard box of a house is like 600,000. So
Oh my god.
the
Everything
cardboard
is so
box in the
expensive.
window.
You're on the East Coast too, right? Crystal?
Yeah, it's terrible. It's
That's how it
horrible.
is over here. I'm in New
Yeah.
England, so
Yeah.
Oh, are you? I didn't
Yeah.
I
know
want
that.
to move to Massachusetts. I love Massachusetts.
too.
That's my favorite state.
I would love to go
I
to
love it. I don't mind the
Massachusetts.
snow. I don't mind that. I love it up there.
I don't like the snow. It sucks. But
Yeah.
the fall, perfect. The one week that we get the fall weather, it's perfect.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I'm always telling my family I want to move to Salem. They're like, but the winters. I'm like, the winters suck here too.
Yeah,
But at
they
least I'd be in
everywhere.
Salem.
Yeah, I
Fall
wanna be
is
in Salem.
insane. Like the
Mhm.
whole fall. Like I think people who live there year round hate it.
Yeah,
like,
they definitely do. Yeah.
Because you can't do anything. Like you
Yeah,
can't.
you can't even leave your house, right?
Yeah.
Because like you can't park because people are parking like by
Yeah.
your house.
It's insane.
I do feel bad for the people of Salem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'd live close to Salem.
On the outskirts.
Yeah, exactly. It's Peabody or Peabody is very close, right?
Peabody.
Mhm.
Peabody.
Yeah. I said Peabody to like a guy there once, and he's like, "It's Peabody." I'm sorry, I'm from New
I
Jersey.
love when people mispronounce. Like, how would you say? Well, I'm gonna give it away, but Worcester. Worcester. Everybody always says Worcester wrong. Like
Yeah,
Worcester.
I say Worcester.
Wait, what? What's Worcester? What?
Worcester.
It's
Worcester.
It looks like Worcester, but it's not pronounced that. I can't even say it the way that Emma is saying it right now.
Oh, like Worcester.
I can't even
here
pronounce
is
regular words,
W-
you guys.
Yeah, Worcester here is WOOSTER.
Oh no, it's spelled WORS. I mean,
Like
WRCESTER. Worcester. Worcester.
What is that?
No thanks, I don't want
It's a
any.
dark place that you don't
Yeah.
want to go.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I mean, my dad lives there, but it's just kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'd love to go there one day.
One of the towns like that surround Salem. It's not far from Salem. It's, what is it like?
Worcester is not close to Salem, but Peabody is close to Salem. Peabody, Essex, and what else? Woburn, I think.
Yeah, Woburn. I stayed in Woburn once. That was actually, I stayed in a courtyard there. I loved it. It was nice. And it wasn't like in the action of Salem where it's like so much traffic. It was nice, like set away. I don't know. I like it up there. I want to move up there.
It's beautiful up there.
It is.
The leaves.
Yeah, the leaves. Like I'll just be in piles of leaves.
Yeah. We have the leaves here in Ohio, but there's something about New England leaves that's
Yeah.
just
That are
different.
I love
prettier.
the history. I love that, we started there, like I just
Yeah.
love going there. The history is beautiful.
Gotta go.
Yep.
All right. Any last thoughts on the book? Books coming up?
What
Things
book?
on your channel?
What book were we talking about? I liked it overall. I think it was a good one.
Yeah. I think I gave it 4 stars. Maybe.
I think I gave it 3 stars. I mean, it was good. I enjoyed it.
It was well written.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say 3.5, but I think 3.75. I wish you could rate books that way on
Yeah.
Goodreads. But I think that's I think I fall in the middle between 3.5 and 4.
Yeah. I did
Definitely
away
a
with
fair
half-star ratings, so I just kept it at 3. But if I do half-star ratings, it would be a 3.5 for sure.
Mm.
You guys, what is that app called that lets you do the half
Storygraph.
stars? Yes, Storygraph lets you do like quarter stars, but it's less of a
Wow.
social media site.
I need
Somebody
it.
just recommended that to me today on one of my videos. I was like, "What is that?"
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like a
none of
new
people are
reading
using
thing.
Is it
What?
like popular? Is it like as widely used as Goodreads?
They're trying
No,
to make
it actually just like launched officially this year.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so it's not, is it an app yet? I don't think it's an
Yeah.
app yet. Is
It
it
is.
already? Okay.
Yeah. And that you can get like a pro subscription and get like more benefits. I don't know what it's exactly called.
What kind of
But,
benefits do they give you? Is it
what?
like, what kind of benefits are they?
I don't know. I don't pay for things. I'm like, I'll take
what
the free version.
The free
What I
version.
do like about them
give me
is
free.
their organization aspect of it is that you can create readathons and put books within the readathons, and it goes like marking like the percentage of how far you finished the readathon. That's what I like about it, but I don't use it that much.
Okay.
Also, stats. If you want to see your like reading stats, if I remember how to do it, I don't remember. But you can see like your pages per month, your different, like when you go in and you review a book, you can say if it's slow paced, fast paced, medium paced. You can give like that it's dark, mysterious, and they're like tick boxes. And then so you can see like these pie charts and graphs and stuff of all your reading stats. And then, like Marcy was saying, you can like tick off challenges. Like I'm doing like the 50 states, 50 horror books. If I read like this book, I go in and I tick it for Alabama. Like, so you can just track a bunch of stuff, and it's less of a social media thing. So I'm not like getting like people trying to like message me strangely.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But yeah,
it's more of like a personal catalog then.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And you can do like 0.25, 0.5, 0.75 ratings, but
I'm gonna have to look it up.
Can you post your own like reviews on there for other people to see?
Yes.
Okay, so there is still, I guess, a little bit of a social media aspect, just not.
Yeah, I think it's like you can't comment on them or send them messages and stuff. It's kind of just like it's more of a personal thing for sure, and it's
cool.
I just wish Goodreads would get its shit together and like improve, make itself better.
Yeah,
They
and I feel like
will.
the improvements that they are making are not even that good. It's like let's focus on what people are saying.
Yeah, I used to be real active when they kind of like first came around, and then a lot of things happened. And I'm just like, you know what? I'll come on every once in a while. I'll post my reviews for the authors, and then that's it.
Yeah.
You're out.
Yeah,
and it's not user friendly. It's like so like the look of it is so dated to me.
Yeah,
it's not user friendly at all. Definitely not.
I gave it 5 stars as well, so you're not alone. So
it's your new favorite book, right?
I love it. I can't wait to read more of his stuff. Like, I'm just gonna read
I definitely want to read more from him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Crystal, what did you give it?
I gave it a 4.5. I put 5 stars on Goodreads, but it's definitely more of like a 4.5. But I really enjoyed it. But the only thing is, I took down a half because I'm like, I don't really remember stuff after reading it. It didn't stick with me like I thought it would.
Right.
When I read it, so.
I think I want to read Cold Moon Over Babylon next. I hear a lot of good things about that one.
I just put a hold on that at my library, which is funny how someone else is reading that right now. I'm like, I guess they pay attention to BookTube. I don't know, whoever has it.
It's, the more, I don't know if it's like because that's what I'm looking for, but like Michael McDowell is, I mean, I don't know. It just seems super popular.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm seeing him more now.
Yeah. He's like,
I didn't know about this book or the author till you guys picked it for this thing. I thought it was a new book because of the new, I guess this is a new print of it. It looks just so modern that I didn't expect it to be a novel set or written in 1981 or whenever it was written.
Right.
Now I'm on a hunt for like the original paperback.
I know. That would be so
Me
cool.
too, I guess. I thought I had it.
I'll keep an eye out, Carol, for you, and you too, Cameron. If I see multiple.
Thank you. It has a cool cover. It's like all black. You just see like
really cool
the shape of the house. So it's
and does it have a step? Is it a step back with the red or no?
I don't know. I've not seen one in person before.
Me neither.
I really like this cover. I think this cover is
it's really good.
A good job. Yeah.
And I didn't even notice that this was like Sans because maybe I don't know.
They mentioned Sans once or twice. Yeah.
Right.
That's so funny.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, thanks everyone for the discussion and the comments as well. I know I'm always kind of lagging on clicking on them.
Thanks, guys.
This was so much fun.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it looks like most everybody liked it to a certain extent. So that's good.
Yeah.
I liked it. Yeah, I definitely liked it.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody give it like 2 stars or one. I'm like the unpopular opinion with my 3-star, because if you go on Goodreads, it's all 5 stars.
Yeah.
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 The amulet, doesn't it have something? It's like a green cover or something, or maybe the amulet is green.
I have
Maybe
the
I'm
original. Let me see if I can grab it real quick. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's definitely next step for me for that.
I feel like I might be getting confused with my son is obsessed with Big Hero 6, and they reference like a green amulet. I'm kidding.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely confused.
There's the original. It's
Yes.
super crazy.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's nice.
What
It's
is
like
it about?
I'm guessing like a cursed amulet.
I think it has to do with witchcraft in a way or something, like some type of
That is
curse.
cool.
Yeah, I think it's like a cursed like necklace or something that gets passed down generations or something. Is that what that?
Yeah.
Why
That's
is
what it
it
sounds
on Wikipedia under erotic?
Oh.
Wait a minute, did I read that wrong?
Do I need
Maybe
to
that'll
bring
be
it
the
up on
next
my
one.
TBR?
It's funny.
Yeah.
I'm reading the back, and it sounds like the Fear Street Saga in a lot of ways.
Wow.
It sounded like when you said amulet and the witch, I was like, oh, okay. It
Yeah.
reminded me of the betrayal and stuff.
It's totally like the Fear Street Saga. It's like passed down. There's house fires. I'm like,
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that's-
sounds like
that's really good.
it's like cursed and making people
Yeah.
kill each other or something. I don't know.
look
Ooh.
how tiny the font is.
Oh. Oh no.
Oh,
Not
I
cool anymore.
There's nothing like the smell of those paperbacks.
Oh yeah, it's,
Oh
it's
my
great. All
God.
those dust mites. Mm.
And
Yeah.
like somebody like it was in like a smoker's house with a mold and
Yeah. I've
Like
gotten
all
quite
that
a few of those. Yeah,
Oh. Funny.
fun.
I like it. I'm excited. But yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for joining us, Cameron. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you for having me. This was a lot of fun. I really like this.
Yeah,
It was fun, yeah.
So you can join us whenever you want. No problem.
Yeah. Just let me know. I would love to come back on.
Yeah.
I've read Pet Cemetery, so I'd love to talk
Yeah.
about that again. It's one of my favorite Stephen
Oh,
King books.
it's the best.
So
Well,
good.
yeah, if you want, come on and talk to us about that because then we'll read your book too and we can tell you
Yeah.
if it's good or not.
Okay. Yeah. That'll be
He's like,
fun.
well, maybe not. Maybe I'll see
He's
you guys in the next one.
Maybe I'll just watch. That way I can cry alone.
No, if it's anything like Autumn Crow, I know I'm gonna love it. So
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope so.
All right,
I
then
take
just a
criticism
reminder
very
next
well,
month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a reminder next month is Joyland by Stephen King. And we'll post on Instagram and stuff when we'll have our live show and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a fun one. It'll be a good summer read.
Yes.
Got it.
Great
Not
cover.
read it.
Well, I mean, if we're pulling out.
Like a fun house. Yeah.
Make sure you dance with your book.
I'm excited.
Me
All
too.
right, I'm gonna end it here. Thanks again, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I have to hit.